Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi with Retail Insider. Joining me today is Craig Patterson, founder, CEO, publisher of Retail Insider, otherwise known as my boss. Thanks for joining us today, Craig.
Good to see you, Mario, and thank you everyone for watching this year.
All right, super. Let's talk about some evolution of Retail Insider. Some changes have been made in the kind of the management structure of the newsroom. Maybe, Craig, if you could describe what's happening there.
Well, so far, because I think there are some more changes coming. Well, you've been promoted to senior news editor. You're doing amazing work, and of course, that's why you've been promoted here. Dustin Foose now, this was announced not too long ago, is the editor-in-chief of Retail Insider, technically. I'm not going anywhere in terms of I'm still around. People asked if I'd retired or something, but that's certainly not the case. I'm now the publisher of Retail Insider Media, just in terms of we've launched a magazine a few months ago. Issue number 2 is coming out quite soon, and we'll be coming out with some more stuff, including video and other activities that we'll be announcing here in the coming weeks and months.
Well, let me just start with the why some of these changes were done right now.
Yeah. I mean, we're growing. Things are changing with the publication. It's a division of tasks as well as a recognition of amazing work that's being done. You, Dustin, and the rest of the team are doing incredible things, and I'm very, very happy with where things are going. And more people will be coming on here as well in terms of business development and other aspects of Retail Insider. So it's going to be an exciting time. We've got an amazing advertising team that's behind us. We've got people that are doing copy editing, IT. It's all just, a really, really great team. We're a small team and we seem to have fun. So this is all good news.
So let's go back in time, just for the people that don't know out there, the genesis of Retail Insider. Can you talk a little bit about that, Craig? Like how it started, why it started?
Well, it started, I don't want to say by accident, but I started a blog a bit over 10 years ago, just talking about retail because it was something that I'd been interested in. I was working with a legal organization as well as with homeless youth at Covenant House, and which was incredibly rewarding work, by the way. Do donate if you can. A great organization. But I was always interested in retail ever since I was a kid. I'm almost 46. And something that I just started writing about 10 years ago. I didn't even have a Canadian focus to start, but as things progressed along, Retail Insider became a Canadian retail industry news publication and really became the publication in Canada, given that there isn't anything that has a real dedicated focus in aggregate over the industry like what Retail Insider is doing. So that's something we'll continue to try to do here and do it better. And we're always looking to grow and change and improve, hopefully.
All right. So when Craig, when you look at each of the roles, say for yourself, Dustin, and myself, maybe if you could explain to the retail industry out there what each of our roles are going to be, and obviously we deal on a daily basis with communications and public relations and marketing people as well. So explain each of our roles.
Yeah. Good question. I mean, for yourself, obviously, you're doing lots of writing. Got certainly strategy around editorial and pitches as well, and whatever else you want to do here in terms of activities. Dustin, as editor-in-chief, is going to be dealing with pitches. Coming up with ideas. We can all come up with ideas, of course, but certainly, around strategy, around the organization of the publication, the editorial, overall activities of what we're doing for the news publication. Sean Terry, of course, is the editor-in-chief of the magazine, Retail Insider, the magazine, as we've called it. He's got his own division over there where he'll take pitches and work on strategy and layout and everything. Again, this is coming up quite soon, that publication. And then myself as publisher, I'm overseeing everything. So I'll have my hand here and there all over the place. I'm, doing pitches. I even write stories for the publications. So I've got my own focus, which seems to be around luxury retail, department stores, shopping centers, and a few other areas around breaking news as well. But I'll still be in writing as well as overseeing things. You'll see my face on camera quite a bit more, I think, as we head into 2023 here. I'll be on camera more and possibly be doing some public speaking as well. So my activities are growing here. I'll be as busy as ever, just I think in different activities, but I'm still around. And for those that have my email, that hasn't changed either.
Okay, super. Now, Craig, when you look back over the last few years, are you surprised at how this publication has evolved to the point it is today?
I think so. I mean, I never had a concrete vision for what I was doing in terms of Retail Insider's growth. I always knew that we wanted to make it bigger and better reporting on things, but it really has been a surprise because a lot of what's happened has just kind of happened over time. We've continued to grow and change, and new opportunities have come up. And one of the things about how I tend to operate is I do like to look at new opportunities that present, evaluate them, and make decisions. And that often is how growth has happened with Retail Insider in terms of things have come to our plate and we've been able to take advantage of that. So obviously there has also been strategy. There's no question there, but also because of the opportunities and taking advantage of those in terms of the growth of the publication, in some cases, I don't know where the future is going to go specifically. I do have a vision in terms of having possibly some smaller in-person events that we would be hosting, but it is still in development. So it is also a situation of stay tuned because we are working through some more ideas here right now and are open to more as well. Again, as we head into 2023, I have a feeling this is going to be a very exciting time for Retail Insider, as it already has been. But I think we're on a growth trajectory, which is quite substantial and could even lead possibly at some point to an international expansion. So we'll see where that goes. There's been some chatter around this as well, but I don't want to just, lay down and not grow and make changes. So I think it's going to be a very exciting time.
All right, let's talk about content. And again, this maybe direct this towards the retail industry out there, the retailers out there, as well as we mentioned before, the PR companies, communications and marketing companies that reach out to us on a daily basis. What is the publication looking for when it comes to content?
Well, it's diverse, but it's certainly focusing on the Canadian retail industry. So activities that surround that, whether or not that's a new retailer opening or expanding, new store concepts, something that's interesting and new in the retail industry. Again, with a focus ideally on Canada. We've certainly worked with partners talking about technology and whatnot that is also supporting retailers and general thought leadership and trend pieces around what we're seeing. The pandemic, of course, was a chaotic time that created a lot of uncertainty. A lot of things did change in the retail industry. Some things didn't as well. And we're starting to see things starting to go back a little bit to how they were, not necessarily completely by any means. We saw a shift online like we never saw before, but nevertheless, retail industry is continuing to change and we're continuing to monitor that.
What do you think is the reason behind sort of the appetite, I guess, out there for retail news today?
Well, the retail industry is huge. It impacts our lives. We're a consumer society. We all shop in one way or another. We all, eat food, wear clothing, hopefully, and other things. So we are certainly, as consumers in the society, retail touches us all. It's also, if not the biggest employer in Canada, the first or second largest employer. I think government's pretty
Yeah.
high up there too, but the retail industry is huge in Canada. Most or a substantial number of Canadians at one time in their career, if not currently, have worked or are working in the retail industry. So it is a really important aspect to our lives. Whether or not we're driving down the highway and seeing a Costco or a Walmart store, or we're walking down a local street seeing small businesses, whether or not we're shopping or just interacting with our communities, retail plays an important role, even just to, I guess, the aesthetics of where we live, not to mention the activities that we take part in and how we consume and just live generally.
Okay, super. Now, Craig, I don't know if you can answer this question or not, but what can you tell people out there about Retail Insider's reach and what it has currently?
It's hundreds of thousands a month. I think it's about 800,000 or so. I'd have to go back and check on that, but it's quite substantial in terms of page views. The social media on top of that is substantial, hundreds of thousands a month. The the reach is very, very impressive, given that we are in Canada and that we are a country that's smaller in population than California, as well as economically a little bit smaller too. But the reach is quite strong and it's growing as well. So we've got a LinkedIn page, which Dustin has been instrumental in developing, with I think over 34,000 subscribers, which is impressive. A lot of people seem to be connecting with me on LinkedIn. I apologize in advance that I don't accept all the invitations right away, because I probably need to spend more time on LinkedIn, but I will, I swear. But nevertheless, we're all becoming, I think, more well-known. I'm sure you're experiencing that as well, Mario.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a quite an interesting time, and thanks, Craig, for joining us today on this. And obviously, as you mentioned, lots of things in store and for the rest of this year and into 2023. So we're all looking forward to that. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for the amazing work, Mario. You're doing a great job, as is the rest of the team. I'm very, very happy with everything as it's moving along here. And for everyone that's still watching, keep paying attention to what we're doing, because we're going to try to do some fun stuff, and reach out and engage with us and say hello if you like as well.
All right, super. That was Craig Patterson, founder, CEO, and publisher of Retail Insider. I'm Mario Toneguzzi, senior news editor with Retail Insider, and I'm going to have to change my title on the screen there. Thanks a lot for joining us.